Hey there, what is going on, everyone? Welcome on back to the Deeper Dive. It is your host, Luke, and today we are going to talk about Velo, XRP, and XCH, which are three out of my personal favorite top 10 to 15 utility tokens. We've had some interesting stuff in the news lately, so I'd love to catch you guys up and share my opinion on a few different things. Getting right into things, on the 12th, Velo was the second most top posted altcoin, which is truly insane to see, and it's very, very bullish. In terms of price, Velo has been doing extremely well, so it's very exciting to see it not only picking up in the price side of things, but as well online. But as you guys can tell, and many of you know, we have been here for months, and this was most definitely expected. Velo is an absolutely massive player, and it seems like what they're doing at Velo Labs is creating lots of demand for Velo. And not only that, but in terms of PR and what they are doing with the community, they have been killing it. So I won't be surprised to see Velo continue to do as well as it is. Keep in mind, nothing I say is financial advice, and you shouldn't make financial decisions based off of my video. Always do your own research, but with that being said, I think this is extremely bullish. I made this post on the 13th saying, Velo, what you haven't seen. On December 9th, 2020, Velo partners completed their first transaction on Velo's per se federated credit exchange network. And I went ahead and copy and pasted this section, and I'll read it off for you guys. To completely settle the transaction, Seba Bank and Lightnet Group can at any time each revert their VUSD and VCHF to Velo tokens, the same asset that they used to initiate the transaction. It is in this way that the Velo token acts as both a bridge asset and the FCX's universal collateral. And I said it seems like we are set up for success, and this further exemplifies how the Velo token is necessary for what Lightnet is doing. As well, you can think about how much demand will be necessary at some very high figures with the token being used not only as the bridge, but as collateral. I think that this was very bullish and is a great post for everyone to see, and I'll even go ahead and repost that. On the topic of collateral, I wanted to share this post from Thingle TG House 1 on X here. It's a little bit longer, but I'll go ahead and read through it for you guys. Here's a brief summary of Velo's clearinghouse functionality, utility, and demand for Velo tokens in the real-world asset space. In April of 2024, Velo and Solana entered a MOU in an agreed collaboration within the real-world asset space. As he says, the principal points are that it's tokenized gold, audited, and redeemable for physical gold, and Solana provides the end-to-end settlement, while Velo protocol provides the clearinghouse function. And for those unfamiliar with the clearinghouses, Velo is effectively the middleman between sender and recipient. And Velo is the party who upholds trust and validates the transactions between the sender and recipient. And he asks if you have ever heard of CHIPS transfers. And CHIPS facilitates the exchange of value, and they per se clear the money and ensure the receiver gets it from the sender. And as he says, in Velo's own words, Solana will act as the blockchain settlement layer, and Velo will be the backbone infrastructure layer, as well as the designated clearinghouse. In terms of demand for tokens, he says, firstly, I should say I feel it's important to stick to the facts. And I agree. He recommends reading Velo's light paper on real-world assets for further information. Again, in their own words, there is a section within the real-world asset light paper called Ensuring Real-World Demand for Velo and USDV Tokens. And they discuss 4 other real-world demand use cases for the Velo tokens, one being the use of the Velo token within the OmniPoints app, which already has 7-Eleven listed amongst others, and it will indeed be exciting to see blockchain used in a loyalty rewards / coupon capacity in real-world stores like 7-Eleven. Now, he says the most exciting use for the token in his opinion, is the management fees from real-world asset campaigns. And Velo says how the Velo platform will generate revenue through management fees from the real-world asset tokenization campaigns. And these fees will come from managing tokenized assets like US Treasury bills, commodities like gold, and account receivables. And he says in turn, this revenue will allow Velo token holders to earn a proper or competitive yield from the management fees. By participating in the campaigns, Velo holders can benefit from attractive returns linked to the performance and demand for these RWAs. And on a final note, he mentions how from the Velo light paper, it specifically refers to institutional clientele, which is truly exciting to see. And this is something that I have spoke about lots in general, how with these RWAs and the ability to restake them as collateral, they will be able to provide very, very attractive returns, just like how Velo said. And this is part of the reason that I think network usage could really ramp up if they offer some very high APY opportunities to stake assets like gold that many people would choose to hold anyways, and specifically banks would love to hold gold anyways. So it definitely seems like they are tapping on to an amazing market. And as I mentioned before, Charles from UOB in the discussion that I had said that tokenization is only on the upside. He sees there is 1,000x potential. So it really does seem like we are in the right spot with tokenization, and what Velo is doing seems like it's perfectly in line with what they should be doing to grow accordingly with the market. Moving off of the topic of Velo, a little bit on the XRP topic here. Today, the SEC officially filed an appeal in the Ripple lawsuit. Now, to follow up with that, Stuart Alderoty, their chief legal officer, replied to this and said it's likely to be abandoned by the next administration. He said they'll respond formally in due time, but what I think is interesting here is if anyone is going to know that it would be likely abandoned by the next administration, it would be Stuart Alderoty. And I mentioned this when I showed you guys this photo from earlier this year on the 7th of January. We had Stuart Alderoty and Brad Garlinghouse meeting with Donald Trump. And I said how this is valuable. And I even mentioned how it would make most sense to have Stuart there. He deals with the legal side of things for Ripple. So to see him say that it would likely be abandoned by the next administration, all while he was meeting with Trump, I do have some conviction that he will be right about that. Let me know what you guys think about this down below, because I'd love to hear some more thoughts on this. On a final note, Chia Network, XCH is the ticker, had some news drop today about Permuto Capital announcing a filing of registration statement for a new type of equity product. From what I understand, they will be trying to get this approved from the SEC to essentially allow certificates that consist of dividend certificates and appreciation certificates. As they say, Permuto will enable investors to obtain direct exposure to the capital appreciation and dividend components of public equities. So think about the stock of Microsoft and imagine you wanted the direct exposure, as they say, to the dividends of a Microsoft stock, but you did not want to take on the risk of holding the stock itself. This is what they are working to enable, and I think that this is absolutely massive. I joined a live space where the CEO of Chia Network was talking about this partnership since it happened today, and something interesting to note is that the main people who will be investing in this is likely big institutions, and insurance companies were one of those that were listed, considering this would offer a nice return on investment while having very little risk. It's very exciting to see what's going on at Chia Network, and I'll be excited to see some updates about this in the next few months. And as well, those updates will line up very nicely with the bull run. Overall, let me know if you guys have any thoughts about what I said with anything about Velo, XRP, or XCH. As I said here, it seems like we are set up for success. If you have any thoughts on what Thingle said, please do drop them down below, or anything about Ripple, XRP, or XCH. If you would like to buy Velo, check out the top link in the description. As well, if you would like to store your cryptocurrency in a safe manner, check out the second link in the description. As I've said, let me know if you have any thoughts about anything mentioned. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on the news in the next few days. I hope you all enjoyed today's update. Smash the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.